I'm Red Beard the Hippy here with Suicide Cages, which if you look up on any social media, you'll get dinged for them being worried about your mental health.
Yeah. Yep.
These two are perfectly fine. They are out of Denver, Colorado, who's playing in Colorado Springs tonight.
Yeah.
So what style of music do you play, so in case people don't know you guys, we'll just go with that. It's easier to ask you guys what style it is or how you would describe it.
Sure. Right. So metal or metalcore, but when we say metalcore, we're talking about like early 2000s, like Converge, Dillinger Escape Plan, like that type of stuff. Yeah.
I can't sing. I just scream a lot. Yeah, no. We've been called metalcore revivalists. We're just, I don't know, a little bit of mathcore in there. We're just heavy. We're heavy, weird.
Heavy and weird, yeah.
Man writes a lot of odd time signatures.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, at least that's the best way to... It's easier to ask the band
totally.
how they describe it.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when you were saying, like, Dillinger Escape Plan and certain bands like that would be a influence, or...
Big time.
What are some of the other ones that are...
Huge influences, yeah.
Yeah, we're both big fans of Dead Guy. Like, you know, really those old, like, Victory comps were crazy to me, because for me personally, it was like all the straightforward hardcore bands never did it for me, but then it was like Integrity, and then you get up with like Dead Guy, Coalesce, Botch, Dillinger Escape Plan, really all that just wild ass stuff. That was the stuff that I got into when I was super young, that I was like, I don't understand what I'm listening to, but like this means so much to me, and that's kind of stuff.
I like it.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
you know, like when you're young and you first hear metal and you're like, this is scary and uncomfortable, and I want more of it. You know, it's like that kind of vibe where you're like, I just want super mathy, weird, technical, heavy stuff, and
exactly.
That's kind of where we came up.
The technical stuff is always interesting too.
Yeah.
Versus something. I mean, obviously you guys have some like some breakdowns, but having that cool technical stuff behind it always adds another level to the music than it just being jun.
No, totally. Yeah, when we write songs, I usually at least curse Mike's name at least once. Like, it's not a good song if I don't say "God damn it" or like swear at him in some capacity, because then I'm just like, what do I do with this? And then we always figure it out, and it ends up being like a really cool thing. But it's so, you know, some of the ideas he has are wild, and I'm just like, I got nothing, man. Or our drummer will do the same thing, and we'll eventually figure it out. And then we're so stoked on it. But yeah, it's complex, and it's enjoyable to write.
So is there like a level of cursing? Like if it's one curse word, it's like, okay, it needs more work. If it gets 45 cuss words at him, or...
Well, we, like you said, we know, I know it's a good idea if I bring it in and him. So, by the way, Devin's singer, Mike, I play guitar. If Devin and our drummer Rico, like if both of them are upset with me, I know it's gonna be a good song.
Yeah,
like it's gonna, because like I said, it's good. Because they're gonna get like, oh man, what's going on? But then we're all gonna talk it through, and we're gonna figure it out, and then it's gonna get better for everyone's participation.
Totally.
You know, so like, yeah, that's, if it's too easy, then it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be fun for any of us, you know.
Or you guys could just write one easy song just to throw everybody off at some point.
So you know what's funny? We tried to,
and
that's the song we mess up the most.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
And actually, so tonight we'll be playing mostly new music. We have a new album coming out in July, and the first song, I had an idea of what I wanted, and I pitched it to Mike, and I was like, "Can you write this?" Because I can't write. Like, I mouth stuff, and like he doesn't laugh me out of the room. So, but ultimately, I was like, "This is what I want," and it's pretty close to the simplest thing we've ever done, but it still isn't. And at the end of the day, it's better than the vision I had initially. It'll be the first song we play tonight, but yeah, we just can't do it, man. We've tried, and it just doesn't come out.
I have noticed that with certain bands, like if they're very technical writing, and then they try to do something simple, it screws them up, or they're just like standing there just going.
Simple's hard, man.
It is really hard.
Like, I've got some friends that have tried to like ghostwrite country music in other ways, and like, I can't do it. I can't write pop songs. Like, I just don't. Yeah. It takes a lot of work to be able to write a simple song. It's not as easy as it looks.
No.
We can't do it, man. Yeah. To this point, 5 years in, we haven't been able to do it, so we'll just keep being weird and heavy and mathy.
Yeah.
I mean, it works. I mean, obviously, it's gotten you guys some pretty good shows.
Yeah, things have been good for us, man.
Yeah, we've been grateful and lucky, so, yeah.
Yeah, we've been playing out of town a lot more, out of the state. trying to get more to the West Coast. Do the best we can. I mean, with this we signed to Brayburn Records, based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. And he used to be out of Salt Lake City, moved here, kind of relaunched his label. And then we're working with Best Life Records out in Europe. And so we're kind of starting to grow this thing into something a little more. And, we've got, I don't know when this is going to come out. But
that's a fucking minivan that just drove by.
That was a minivan?
Because we're in Colorado Springs.
It sounded like ass. Like, what was that? Oh my god. Don't cut that either. That was rough. What were we talking about? No, so we've got this new record coming out in July. We actually have a new single dropping on Thursday, so I don't know when this will be online or not. But
I'm going to be working on it Monday. So.
Okay. Nice. So yeah, it's a surprise drop unless you're watching this, now you know. Right. We have a single coming out on Thursday, new album coming out in July.
We'll see how many people actually watch this far in the video. We're 5 minutes in. So.
Yeah, we'll pump it also. Yeah, so we're really excited, really grateful. Super proud of the new songs. We worked with Felipe Patino out of Denver. Used to work at the Blast Room a lot. Now he owns a place called the Green Door. And we had a little bit of help with mixing it, definitely mastering from Will Putney, who is Graphic Nature Audio. He's worked with Body Count, Fit for an Autopsy, Better Lovers, Incendiary, Counterparts. Couple bands, yeah. Man's got Grammys for Body Count Records.
Yeah.
So
he plays in Better Lovers and Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah, we opened for Better Lovers a couple years ago.
An End.
Then we struck it off and he made our records. Man, this new one is really, really heavy. Like, it sounded heavy before we gave it to him, and he gave it back, and it just sounds massive. Yeah. So
it's a guy, Felipe. Everything he does, amazing mixes. Everything he learned working at the Blasting Room, and so it's cool to work in his studio because it's smaller and it's a little more just intimate and just fun.
One-on-one.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's such like an active listener and active participant.
Yeah, he gets involved. He's got great ideas, and then he gives us this amazing mix. Like this time, this is the second time we've recorded with him, and I think we had one note, out of the entire mix, just like one or two things max.
Because he got us, Yeah. After the first time through, we figured each other out. It was such an easier way.
It was awesome, yeah.
We all knew how we worked together as a group.
Yeah.
And he just has cool ideas, and he's not really a producer per se, but he very much is like, he'll watch, pay attention when Mike's playing guitar, and be like, let's make sure we get credit for every note you're playing, and we'll slow stuff down. Like, it's really cool. So
we're stoked to work with him. And then he he gives you this mix that you think can't be any better, and then we give it to Will Putney, and the two of them, it just made it sound amazing. So we're really excited for people to hear it. It's gonna be fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's always interesting, like you were saying, that they worked at these other places and now they've transitioned into those things.
So. Right. Well, I think you get to a point where you get your name under you and you get your experience. Why would you not want to go venture out on your own and do your own thing? And
exactly,
it's been crazy, man. So we're grateful that we get to work with the people we want to work with. We're very fortunate there.
That's what always makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because when it stops being fun, then it becomes.
Yeah, I don't want to get to that point. And at some point, I know that'll happen. But I think we've got a long time until we get there. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Well, luckily we're by a wooden fence.
Man, exactly.
Hopefully, we've got a lot of life left in this thing.
So, you were talking about opening up for certain bands, like some of the bigger name ones, or have you guys been able to open up for some of the ones that are the heroes or the influences?
We have some of that a couple times. Yes. Yeah, so we got to open up for Better Lovers, and for anyone who doesn't know who that band is, they're kind of a super group they're built of members of a bunch of our all four of us in the band, our favorite bands. So it's members of or ex-members of Dillinger Escape Plan and Every Time I Die, and then current members of Fit for an Autopsy and End. So it's amazing music. It doesn't sound like any of the bands they all come from.
Which that's always cool.
Which is so cool. Yeah, so cool. But then we were lucky enough. So tonight we're here with Snot and Skin Lab, and that's been that's been fun. We opened for them both last night. We got to come down here a few months ago and open for Crowbar, and Devin's a huge Crowbar fan.
That's great.
And then we have a show coming up called Unhinged Fest, where we get to open we're opening the main stage on that, so we're going to be on the same stage as Dillinger Escape Plan, Converge, Knock Loose. So that's
you guys had better have your lotion and socks over on the side.
Oh, dude, yeah. And it's right in the middle of July, too.
It's going to be a hot one, but it's a ridiculous lineup, man. Yeah. when we got that offer, we didn't know everybody was playing. They're like, it's basically just going to be like you guys and Converge and like Lamb of God, and we were like, yeah, sure, dude, 100%. And then the full lineup got announced, and it's just wild. So
there's certain ones where it's like, I mean, just this little band named Lamb of God. You're like, oh, well, I guess we'll open up for them.
Totally. And that's the thing is like, this is every band of note in the world, like our little microcosm here. Well, we're just going to play with them one day, and that's just. It's crazy, man. We're very grateful. So.
And then when you do get to actually open up for them, that's where you're like,
yeah, man. So it's been really cool, dude. It's always cool to meet new folks. They're like, we've been hanging out with the Skin Lab guys, yesterday and today, and they're super cool dudes. And grateful to just kind of, meet new people, make new friends.
Oh yeah, that's like I was hanging out with you guys over at the bar or at the venue, and hanging out with them, and I find treating bands that are on these shows. Treating them just like people is going to get you a whole lot further than
we all
but you're going to have that moment where like you have that fanboy moment where
everybody has that
where you're like
everybody has
but then it's like, okay, compose yourself, okay, now we're going to go introduce them, shake their hand, walk around the corner, like jumping for joy, like, what the hell is wrong with that?
Well, the problem is like sometimes we play with bands that were important to us and they end up kind of being dicks, and I'm not going to name names, but the Better Lovers guys specifically were incredible. They were the nicest.
They were awesome. Yeah, all 5 of those dudes were so cool.
We were down there's 2 green rooms next to each other. We were stretching and warming up, and they just came over and were chatting with us, watched their set, and we became friends with Will Budney and work with him now. And it was just it's always cool when you get to meet folks that you look up to and you admire and respect, and they just end up being cool people. So and again, like the Snot guys, the Skin Lab guys have been really really cool. The Better Lovers guys.
Well, I've met the Skin Lab guys, and they're cool as hell.
Yeah, man.
Snot, I'm waiting to meet them, but I'm going to take your guys' word, and I've got other friends that, one of my friends is actually coming down to this show that back when Lynn was actually in the band, his band opened for Snot in Salina, Kansas.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
he's like, oh, they're great dudes. I'm like,
they're super nice. And what's crazy for me specifically is the first show I ever went to, the first band that played the first show I ever went to when I was 16, was Snot. They opened up like this radio show in Denver.
Oh,
and
nice.
So it's kind of this full circle thing. We're like, that's cool, man. Like, it's always enjoyable to get to do these things. And I was grateful. Yeah, man, we're just kind of on this like cool little upward trajectory, and every time we do something, like it's a little bit cooler than the last, and we're just grateful that.
And hopefully, if it ever levels out, it's still just like the next thing is just as cool as the previous.
Totally, man. Because at some point, it all changes and it stops, but. We've got a lot of gas left in the tank, and this new record coming out I think is going to do really well for us. And we've got some regional tours coming up too, and so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. We're trying to get out of Colorado as much as we can.
Wherever we can.
Salt Lake City's kind of become a second home to us. Those guys are incredible out there. There's an amazing venue called Ace Side Saloon that we play regularly.
Super cool to us. Yeah.
Really kind of the first place outside of Denver that adopted us, so we're very grateful.
That's always a cool thing.
Yeah, just the people there. Not just the staff, just like even the people who hang out there. Like, are just super cool to us.
Yeah, we've made friends we just chat with online all the time now. You're like, this is cool, man. And come on, it's exciting to go play because it's going to be a good show and there's going to be a good turnout. But also, you're like, man, I get to go see these guys.
You go hang out with your friends.
And so many people that have become friends that weren't before, and that's incredible. And I think that's what's cool about heavy music as a whole is that none of us are that cool. Like we're all just kind of weird dudes that just make friends with people. And, I don't know. And maybe it's like
want to be friends?
Yeah, dude. Like,
you play video games? No, I play Magic. Ooh, we play Magic. All right.
Well, yeah, man. Like Denver wasn't always this massive city it is now. Like when I was growing up there, that was like if you liked hardcore and metal, then we were just friends. Like it was the same dudes at all the shows. Like there weren't that many of us. So you're like, thank God. And so I still kind of have that that in my heart kind of never really goes away. Like I know our community is larger than it once was, but to me, I'm always like, oh, that dude's t-shirt's cool. I'm gonna talk to him. It's cool shit.
Or you drive by somebody and you hear something and you're like, oh, I recognize that. And you give them the metal horns and they're like,
dude, 100%.
Yeah, they give the thumbs up and it's like, I got a friend.
I say this all the time. Like, I don't know how normal people make friends. Like, I don't know how to make friends.
I go to concerts.
That's all I got, dude. I've only ever been able to make friends in the music community. That's the only way I feel like I can be related to folks and like other things. And so like, I don't know, man. People play soccer, go to church or whatever.
Do something, yeah.
But like, this is for me like how
I don't know how to go to.
I don't know, bro. This is all I got.
We're gonna go walk around the fair. People, leave me alone. We're gonna go to a show with 500 people. Ooh, let me in.
Yeah.
Well, back from the interruption of the dead battery, because for some reason they don't like to last. we're going about making friends in the
Yeah.
community. So, where can people find your guys' music and all that stuff?
Well, you have the so all our music's on all the platforms. So Apple, Tidal, Spotify, whatever you want to use, Deezer, whatever the hell that is.
But you guys have it on there.
I know. Well, you have the experience that a lot of people have was like when you search for us on social media, you'll get you'll get all the helpline stuff. Because we're called suicide cages, so the first thing you'll see is, "Hey, do you need help? How are you feeling today? Would you like a friend?"
Yeah.
And
you can search results.
Yeah, you just type through. Yeah, just keep going. But we're on, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, all of them that we can think of. I think we have a Reddit page too, but
I think we have a Reddit page. Instagram is probably the place we're the most active. And then, we have a link tree there with all of our hyperlinks and everything else. But yes, just search Suicide Cages on whatever.
And then hit see results. Don't worry
exactly. Just hit see results.
Yep, you'll
But
find
if you are struggling with it, go ahead and get a hold of.
If you're struggling, message us. We'll talk.
That's exactly how I got a hold of you guys.
Exactly,
Hey, you want to do an interview? And it's we'll see if they hit me back. And you guys did, so it's.
Yeah, dude, we love to talk to people, man. We
appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Well, I appreciate it too, especially, I'm coming from Nebraska into Colorado.
No way, man. We appreciate you coming out. That's crazy, bro. Anytime, it's always fun. Anytime you drive somewhere, whether it's like 1 hour or 10 hours, what is going? It's just cool that people come out at all. And then when folks, like last night, there's a bunch of 18-year-old kids. A bunch of 18-year-old kids that drove almost 4 hours. All had to work the next morning, just came out to the show, and they were super cool and watched the whole time. And I was like, man, good for you guys. Like, you still got that strength in you that you can do that shit. But
there's a certain age where the all-nighters the next day don't quite go together very well.
But I'm always grateful that folks come out and we get to meet cool folks like yourself. So
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, and we'll go ahead and end the interview.